Clark Reid back with you with today's tech headlines. Please give us a like if you enjoy the reports. Tap that like button. You can also subscribe by hitting the little bell icon, and we'll give you a little notice when every new report is up and ready for you. Ever since Samsung first put out their large, pricey folding smartphone and then their flip phone, tech watchers have been speculating as to when Apple will jump into the market. Well, Apple is rather famous for not getting into a market until they think they can blow the doors off the competition, and usually they've been able to come behind and do so. Now, MacRumors.com has picked up a report from analyst Ming-Chi Kuo claiming that Apple will release a folding iPhone around the end of 2026, early 2027. Kuo says it will be the book-type design, not a flip, and it'll sell for over $2,000. That sounds about right for the pricing, considering that Samsung's Galaxy Fold sells for a bit under $2,000. The folding phone is likely to have a 7.8-inch crease-free inner display and a 5.5-inch outer display. That lines up with a rumor that came out last month. The Apple folder will measure between 9 and 9.5 millimeters thick when folded, 4 and 4.8 millimeters, that is, when it is unfolded. Kuo expects it to have a titanium alloy casing and a hinge made out of stainless steel and titanium alloy. It'll have a dual-lens rear camera and a front-facing camera for both folded and unfolded states. And instead of Face ID, it'll use Touch ID, utilizing a side button. They're doing that to try to save space inside. And don't be shocked if a fully tricked-out version gobbles up something like $2,500. We've all heard stories, and I've reported a few right here, about generative AI writing documents at blinding speed, even if some had so-called hallucinations or just plain made-up stuff. Well, what about using AI in an interview to get a leg up on the other candidates? According to GeekWire.com, some firms like Amazon are cracking down on using AI tools like coding assistants that can give an applicant an edge. This seems to echo concerns about cheating in education using AI. Gee, that sonnet you wrote sounds awfully familiar. Are you a descendant of Shakespeare's? One tech leader speculated some 80% of the candidates use LLMs on top-of-funnel code tests, even though they're told not to do that. A few companies are encouraging AI use by applicants, but most aren't at this point. Here's an easy way to screen them all out. How about an in-person interview? What a concept. Have the person write using a computer with net access disabled. For years, the California bar exam, which just ran an exam online for the first time, which was fairly disastrous, only allowed typewriters after they were checked in advance and sealed by the examiners, just to avoid cheating. As AI grows more accurate and mastery becomes a must-have skill, using it in an interview may become more acceptable. But for now, it often gets a candidate immediately put on a no-hire list. Up to now, virtually all self-driving fleets have operated in places where the weather's pretty fair all the time. Think about Phoenix, Austin, L.A., San Francisco, Atlanta. Yes, there's been a foray or two into Pennsylvania, but the vast majority of self-drivers and all Robotaxi fleets have been in places without much or any snow and ice. ArsTechnica.com reports that that's changing now, with Volkswagen rolling its Robotaxis in snowy, icy Norway. No slap at Norway either. I've got family that's traveled there and know several people from that fine country. VW points out, though, that a taxi service that only operates in good weather isn't of a great deal of use to a lot of people. So ID Buzz vehicles are now prowling the streets of Oslo. And the CEO of Moira, the VW's AV division, says, and his name, by the way, is Sasha Mayer, he says, to ensure that people worldwide can reliably experience our autonomous vehicles, we're making the technology winterproof. The ability to drive safely under extreme weather conditions is a fundamental prerequisite for long-term economic success of our offering in Europe and North America. By the way, he aims to have commercial robotaxis in service in Hamburg, Germany by next year. Reddit has rolled out new tools aimed at getting lurkers to participate in discussions. And Gadget.com reports one is called Rules Check. That makes it easy to see if your posting potentially goes against the subreddit's rules. Before submitting the post, you can click on the little wand icon within the post composer and see that it's going to pass the muster or not. And doing that highlights anything in the post that may be breaking the subreddit's rules. Reddit will start testing the feature on iOS and Android before giving it wider release. But another ad is Post Recovery. Now, that tool lets you see a prompt if your post has been removed due to a community rule violation. And besides the prompt, then you'll get a link that will enable you to share your deleted post to a more appropriate subreddit. Post Insights shows how many views you've gotten, upvote shares, and cross-posts your posts have gotten. I'm Clark Reid, and you're Technified for now.